Hi, it's Jeff from Mattress To Go. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the latest Consumer Reports mattress review article. You know, in the past decade I've become increasingly frustrated with the lack of good information from the various consumer magazines when it comes to mattresses. They tend to talk about specific brands or stores within their geographic region, wherever they're doing their survey, instead of focusing on innerspring units, foams, and the proper ways of putting a mattress together. So what I thought I would do is take this article and expand upon a few of the different points that they make and arm you with some good objective information that you may take with you and become an informed consumer and hopefully help you make a good selection when you're out there in the retail mattress marketplace. One of the first things that they talk about is about 75% of their survey respondents mention that they're happy with their new mattress, they're sleeping better, and they even cite a few brands as improving sleep. Well, I hope you're sleeping better when you get a new mattress. I mean, the reason you're out there shopping is that your old 10, 15, 20-year-old mattress is shot. So even a good basic mattress is going to have you sleeping better than a quality 10 or 15-year-old mattress set. So that's sort of a moot point. As far as specific brands improving sleep, there's no specific research out there that shows that one brand versus another is going to make you sleep any better. The more important thing is to go to a store with a good selection of quality products and find an educated, knowledgeable comfort consultant who will take your individual characteristics and needs into account and put you in the best type of mattress that suits your individual needs. It's not necessarily a specific brand, but it's finding the product and the type of spring unit or foams that will best help you sleep better depending upon your individual health characteristics. Another thing that they mention is that price matching offers are meaningless, and you know what? I'm going to have to agree with them upon that point. The mattress industry is unlike any other. On purpose, they set out to confuse consumers, and the brands in the retail stores in general aren't very helpful with helping you compare across models. What they'll do within a geographic region is they'll take the same bed, the mattress companies will, and they'll put a different label and a different covering on that so that a store may have a mattress price guarantee, but they're only going to match against a bed that has the exact same name and the exact same cover, and they know within that geographic region no one else is going to have it. So the price guarantee is moot. It's not worth the paper upon which it's printed. The thing is, the article, they take this victim mentality, which I really hate. We get customers that come in and they say, oh, you can't compare, so whatever, I'm just going to lie down on the bed. Whatever I like, that's what I'm going to buy. Well, you can compare. A store should provide complete specifications, and you look at the innerspring unit and the foams contained on the inside, and it's real easy for you to find model to model, you know, what that bed is or an equivalent at another store. And it's real easy to do. You go into a store and you say, hey, I like this bed. Can you give me the foam layers and the innerspring unit on the inside? I want to do a little research and compare at other stores. If they give you the information, that's awesome. If they don't give you the information, walk. Your money's the ultimate decider here, you know. It's not like you only have 2 or 3 places where you can buy a mattress. There are mattress stores, furniture stores all over the place. If they're not helpful, why are you going to spend your hard-earned money at that store? If they're not going to help you with that, what else aren't they going to help you with? So it's no big deal. You can compare. It's not too difficult to do. They talk about big names getting little praise, and they talk about certain sleep shops in the eastern area where they did this survey. Some got better ratings than other, and then a few brands didn't get good ratings, ones that people were least likely to buy. Remember, 75% of the people were satisfied. You know, I'm not going to mention the brands or the stores here. In a 10-year follow-up study, yeah, then maybe some of this information will have some relevance with the mattress and how it performed. But, you know, a survey within 6 months to 2 years after they bought a bed, you can't really put too much stock into that, and I'm not going to disparage certain brands when we talk about that. Price doesn't guarantee happiness. This is extremely true. You don't get what you pay for necessarily. There's a reason that these marketing companies, you know, get paid millions of dollars to create a buzz about certain brands out there within the industry. You need to look at what's on the inside. Just because a bed costs $5,000 doesn't mean that it's a lot better than a $2,000 mattress. If you look at some of the popular memory foam brands, you step up $500 in a queen-size mattress and you're paying for only 2 inches of polyurethane foam, which has a raw material cost maybe of $30, you know. So you need to look at what's inside of the bed. You need to look at the quality of construction, the quality of the componentry. Again, that's where you need to become educated, or like with our videos, get a beducation, learn how beds are made. A new box spring isn't a must. They talk about that. Well, in a way it is, and in a way it isn't. Almost every mattress company is going to require you to place your mattress on a proper type of foundation. Modern one-sided beds need to be placed on a firm, flat surface. So if you buy a new mattress and put it on a deck of plywood or on the floor, you're going to be okay. Or a brand new foundation that's of the equivalent to the box spring that they offer in the store. What you can't do is put your new mattress on something that sags, whether it's a link spring or an old coil box spring or an old torsion modular unit. Number one, it won't perform properly. Number two, you will void your warranty. So that's the key thing. This tends to be more of an issue with a store where they'll say, they use it as a bit of a scare tactic. Hey, you have to buy the brand new bed, you have to buy mattress and box spring or you don't get a warranty. They need to ask, upon what you're placing your new mattress. Sometimes you can save some money by not having to buy the box spring. So that's not necessarily a bad thing with the mattress company. They want to make sure that your mattress is going to last and perform properly. More of an issue with a store. They talk about haggling and the 50% off sales. Now, some states have laws against these fictitious 50% off discounts. My state, Michigan, doesn't. So we have stores claiming up to 80% off of a fake retail price. And as a consumer, I think most people know that this is just total nonsense. What you need to look at is the final price that you're paying for that product. And they mention here that people who haggled saved a median of $115. Well, in a way, that would really sort of tick me off. If they had a bed marked up so much, and then if I just asked, to change the price a little bit, and they marked it down $100 for me, that means what, they're ripping off the other people that come in? I realize it's retail and something is worth what a person is willing to pay for it, but you want the price to be competitive off the bat, which is another reason why you want to arm yourself with knowledge and be able to compare across stores and across brands. Stores that do this, some stores won't even put the prices of the bed on there, and then they'll just start you at a certain price point and haggle your way down. And people think, oh, I got $100 off, I got a good deal. But then if they go to another sleep shop where they're more honest in their pricing, they might find that the everyday price of that bed is $50 less than what they, haggled down to. So again, get the specs, cross-compare, look at the final price that you're going to pay. It's not always necessary to haggle. It depends upon the type of store that you go to. They talk about pain drives some selection. Again, there aren't certain mattress brands that are guaranteed to relieve pain. If somebody comes into my store, I have, fibromyalgia. I have really bad rheumatoid arthritis. Certainly, there are certain types of foams and spring units out there or foam beds that tend to produce better pain relief characteristics, but not one brand versus another. Again, that's where you want to deal with an educated, qualified comfort consultant who can help you find the product that best suits your individual needs. Then they do some ratings with different brands and different stores. I'm not going to go through that again. If you want to go through the different brands, do a 10-year follow-up study, see how those products perform, or more objectively look at some of the shear tests with the foams or the rollator or blossom test with the inner spring units to find out what components last longer than others. And we know that information, and that information is out there. As a consumer, it's pretty easy for you to find. What I would more like these consumer magazines to do, instead of talking about brands and things like that, talk about the inner spring units, talk about the different types of foams. Go to the Polyurethane Foam Association, go to their website. They've got tons of information on there. I just did a whole course, a college level course on foam education, and it's out there for free for the consumer to look at. It doesn't take much for you to get educated, and as the author of the article, it's not hard for for these people to go out and find that information as well. It is a lot more work than just tallying a survey and then writing a little bit of an article about that. Or go to some objective websites where they don't have a horse in this race and they just talk about good foams or about ways that beds are put together. Places like thematressunderground.com. That's a pretty good place where they talk about the different foam technologies and what to look for. They're not promoting any specific brand or any particular item. Or like my Beducation videos that I have out there. Again, we're not brand specific. We talk about foam technology, box springs, inner spring technology, mattress assembly techniques, all the things that you need to know when you're out there shopping for a mattress. Good information with which you may arm yourself and make an educated decision. So I would really prefer these consumer magazines do something along those lines, or as a consumer, you yourself do some educated research on your own. Overall, there's a few good points in this article, but like the past few from Consumer Reports the past few years, not very useful to the consumer. And using their own little rating scale, I'm not going to give them the the total black circle, but I'm going to give them the half black circle. They could do a lot better job with a little more work and a little more research.